all you ever wanna do is play. So let's play.
Yeah. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke,
Yeah,
real
well,
mode.
we can hold a peace or we can wage war, but I'm gonna get what I came for. Real gang, that's a crew name. We all graduated to the two-door. Second global, that's an infrastructure. All y'all niggas like the Titanic. I'm the iceberg, talking no Zucker on the front lines, but we don't panic. Shit getting messy, got nothing to rest in. I'm tired of niggas, they frontin' they blessings. They want my suggestion, but don't want the fee. I'm just doing me, I don't answer their questions. All this flexing, got no one to see. All this aggression, I just want some peace. Not even sure that I like it in heaven. I guess when we get there, then we gon' see. I do not understand, I do not get what you do. You only got one life, but you act like you got two. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
Hey, y'all some jokers, y'all a bunch of clowns. You will not get a laugh out of me. You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transferred to a new account? You just fucked over a prodigy. Posted up with a rented crown.
You are the king and apology.
You about to see a new side of me. I hope you know. We stand up and watch our enemy go. Empire fall, my legacy grows. I might just hop on this melody flow. All this vision, no clarity though. Y'all play a game that I bear in my soul. Ebony ivory, nobody knows. Business vasectomy, nothing can grow. Everyone promises more than they actually do. We don't deliver on anything other than truth. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. You really have people fooled out here, don't you? When are you peasants gonna learn that you can't pretend to be a king? It ends today.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
I'm afraid I'm self-diagnosing myself with mental illness.
Just like Tess Holiday. Let's fucking go.
I feel like I might be struggling, but I don't want to appropriate anyone's experience. Help.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This
normal.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Ooh, welcome everyone to episode 24 hundo and 30 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and y'all hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swole, yo, back with another episode. Today's episode, the Beastcast, is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2 flexing on all you beats.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Happy 2430 beaches. Welcome to the show. We are live everywhere. Check all the links in the show notes down below to find the live stream channels. Most people watch over there on YouTube and listen on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, but you can go to thedailyswole.com and find all those links. Make sure you subscribe, share the stream. We are live. What is going on, beaches? How we doing? Lacey, Tyler, we got Grizzly in the house. Dawn, what is up? Loretta, we got a lot of peeps watching live. Welcome. Come one, come all. And of course, we have the puppers that are in tow. Aww. Very nice. We have the Tainty Man and the Church that are here with us today. As per usual. Very nice. We're closing out 2022 with an amazing Swole Slut Saturday. So let us kick it off. And let's get into some Swole fan posts. We'll take some questions. And of course, we will go balls deep. And we are fresh off our overtime segment yesterday. So if you missed it, it's available now inside Swole TV. And it was fucking Liddy McTitterson. We went deeper. We did 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 DWGs to close out the year. We decided to make it the biggest and greatest overtime of the year because it was our last one. So we had to close it out strong. So go and check it out. It's available for members, swolenormousx.com. Check it out inside Swole TV. So if you missed it, it's available now. It was fucking awesome. So super stoked that it went well. And shout out to everyone that was there yesterday after the live stream. And we do that every single Friday. So when you join the fam, you get access to all the private live streams. Plus, we have an accountability meeting on Monday. What a perfect time for an accountability meeting. What a perfect time for an accountability meeting. Monday, January the dose. Do I have the image? I don't. Monday, January the 2nd. So this Monday, every Monday at 12 noon Eastern time, we have our accountability meeting. So we'll see you Monday as well. Tomorrow we have a Q&A-ness to bring in the new year. And we're going to kick it off strong. We got a lot of shit going down. We're going to have a lot of people that are looking to make some positive changes. But, fucking resolutions. You waited too long. I'm telling you, you waited too fucking long. I've been ranting about resolutions for months. We've been doing it for years, but every single, September, October, we start harping on fuck your resolutions. I told you to join. I told you to start. I told you to start in September. I told you to start in October. I told you January was going to come before you knew it. And you're going to be 3 months behind. You could have been 3 months into crushing it. You could have been completing the 90-day dash right now. You could have been already through a complete program, done an elimination diet once or twice, really refined it over the course of a couple months and been well on your way to destroying this year. But of course, you wanted to wait. Of course you wanted to wait. Of course you wanted to procrastinate. Of course. Don't know why. Don't know why you waited. But don't call it a resolution. Start today. Don't call it a resolution. Do not even concern yourself with the date on the calendar. Seriously, don't even concern. If you're starting today, just don't call it a resolution. Don't consider the date on the calendar. It doesn't matter. You're starting. You're making those positive changes. Doesn't matter about the date. Just ignore that and get started today. All right, let's give a round of applause. Let's get some Swole Fam action. Where's my air horn? All right, and let's kick it off. All right, start. Don't call it a resolution. Do not call it a resolution. Just start today. Now let's summon the Falcon. Here we go, bitches. Let's get this nut busted. Falcon. Summons the Falcon. Put some respect on it. Would you smash today? All right, it's our last Swole Slut Saturday of the year, so let's kick it off strong. Drop the hashtag triple S in the comments down below. Love me some morning. I love me some morning swoles too, Eric. Very excited to have you here and welcome everyone. Last show of 2022. Last show. Episode, think about that. Episode 2430 to close out 2022. We're going to bring it in next fucking year tomorrow. That's the whole thing. You say, oh, it's next year. Everyone, I heard someone yesterday. Oh my God, I heard someone yesterday. See you next year. See you next year. See you next year. It's tomorrow. Shut the fuck up. I hate that shit. See you next year. AKA tomorrow. Come on now. Give me a fucking break. It's the sun's gonna rise. It's the same fucking thing. It's a date on the calendar so humans can keep some kind of order and control so we don't go insane not knowing what we're doing in this world. Come on, it's some sort of order. We're trying to create some sort of authority over a universe that we have no fucking idea why it exists or what's happening. Just get over it. Go to the fucking gym, take care of yourself, work on yourself. Don't plug into all this stupid shit. Just go to the fucking gym. Go to the fucking gym. Let's get a little America. All right, a nice little rant to get us started. Now let's spit on it and get into that tip. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. New year, new me. We got some new merch too about that. So you'll see more launches come Monday. Fam, are you ready to get into some Swole Fam posts? Let's kick it off.
What's in the box?
Let's get some Swole. New year, new me, eh? Let's see. Jessica, all right, it's Swole Fashion. We did this one yesterday. Did we do this one yesterday? We did this one yesterday. Hold on a second. Did I open up the wrong folder? If this is an old folder, I'm going to lose my tits. Okay. Hold on a second. All right. All right, so that was just the first one. It was a good post. We did that one yesterday. First one from Aaron. Aaron is looking pissed as shit. Aaron says, it's raining and I'm training. Much different from last week, though. Get after it, fam. Respect. Respect. How many of you train outside, rain or shine? Was it Aaron? I think, was it Aaron that posted the picture? Was that you last week? Someone showed a picture last week with snow and you were training in like a snowsuit. Fucking intense. We got one from our very own Amy. Due to new family schedule changes, my daily 5 a.m. workout can only be done every other week now, so I will be working out at home more. Home gym is lacking, but we'll use what I have until I can get some heavier weights and additional equipment. Good thing I have Swolenormous X workouts. What a testimonial. No matter what obstacles keep getting thrown my way, I am not going to stop. Amy, respect. And look, you got the punching bag, you got some dumbbells, you got your body weight that you can use. Fantastic. I love to see it. No matter what, you get a jump rope, you get some push-up handles, right? You got some dumbbells already. I would recommend, I think everyone can agree, you have a nice setup. You have a nice little basement area. I would recommend getting a kettlebell or two. That's fantastic for a home gym. I think kettlebells, if you had to get one piece of equipment, like seriously, I love steel clubs. I love maces. I love dumbbells and barbells and squat racks and stuff as much as the next person. But if you have limited space or limited financials, because like, it's expensive. Anyone that has a home gym, I can't imagine. I mean, I'm just trying to think. I don't want to add up everything that I've purchased over time for my home gym. It's like, you don't want to think about that number, but it's all an investment. The good thing is once you buy one of those pieces of equipment, you don't have to buy it ever again. You buy a weight plate, that weight plate is not going anywhere. Even if you leave it outside, it gets rusty. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be there as long as you don't break it in half. So if you take care of your equipment, you can have it forever. But of course, when you have a kettlebell is so dynamic. You can just do so many things with one kettlebell. Whereas with a pair of dumbbells, let's say you have a pair of 20-pound dumbbells. Sure, you could do a lot, but certain exercise will be too light. Certain exercises will be too heavy, and it's not the same as a kettlebell. You could do so much more. You do so much more if you're limited with what you can buy. A pair of dumbbells is fine for certain things, but if you're limited with what you can buy, I would make sure, because all you need is one kettlebell. If that's all you can buy, if you had $100, right? Think about this. If you had $100, a home gym with $100, what would you do? What would you do? I would say for $100, you don't even need to get a jump rope. I would get a yoga mat and a kettlebell, or just a kettlebell and like a yoga mat. Because a yoga mat you can use for the kettlebell work, you can use for lying stuff. A mat and a kettlebell, that might be the best use of $100. Seriously, you could do so many things. So in other words, are you going to get all the results in the world with one kettlebell? But my point is, for a home gym, there's certain strategies with a home gym because every single person's space is different. If you're saying, what's the best equipment? You go to any gym, it doesn't matter if it's a rectangle or a square. If you have a lot of space and a lot of equipment, you're going to have pretty much the same standard stuff. And you're going to have a couple, probably $1 million worth of equipment that's leased or purchased. But a home gym, every home gym is different. You have different height ceilings, you have different shapes. You might have to remove it. You might have to move your coffee table in your living room. So you might have to adjust where you train and need things that are easily storable underneath a couch or underneath a table or off to the side. So you might not have a designated area that's only for your training. So there's a skill and a strategy, and it's actually pretty fun. It's actually pretty fun to design and to build out a home gym. And the cool thing is you can purchase these things and you can always resell them. They have a lot of these workout pieces of equipment have a high resale value. So you might not be able to sell it for what you paid for it, but if you spent $45 on a kettlebell, $20 shipping, whatever, let's say it was $70, and you want to sell it, you could sell it for $45, $50 because the person's saving on shipping. There might be a couple scratches on the kettlebell, but it's still the same kettlebell unless it's like rusted and chipped to shit. But you could always sell it and upgrade your equipment in the future. So little increments, right? Just build it up. And then if you get more space or you move to a different location, you can adjust what you have. Yeah, maybe some sort of resistance bands, some rebar and concrete for $100. You could make a lot of things with concrete. You can make maces. You can make a mace with a. Okay. Let's see. Danny, what's your opinion on vegetarian fed beef? Oh, I like it. I like it. Oh, look at this fucking dude. Look at that beard. All right, Carson, all right. Considering diving in on the elimination diet, a few things. What fruits? Is there a protein you can use to supplement? What kinds of meals do you make? Do you have any video suggestions? Are there other things to cut out? I've been looking for a few more videos to get an idea of what to do, but don't see much. I'm not sure where you think you're looking. Please send me links or what to search to figure this out. Carson, if you're a member, make sure you go into the kitchen and go to the Nutrition Jumpstart and the Elimination Diet section. So it depends on I'm not sure where you're pulling this image from in particular, but the elimination diet, we break it all down and all the details. So what fruits? What fruits? I mean, I would recommend generally sticking to berries and things of that sort, but most fruits are going to be, especially in-season fruits, are going to be fine. Protein, you definitely don't need to supplement protein if you're eating enough beef and, protein sources, but you can use a grass-fed whey isolate. That would be a decent option, or a beef protein isolate. And the rest of this is just kind of general suggestions, but you could drop some of your own thoughts, fam, on your tips and tricks for the elimination diet, or things that you found in particular important when you started your elimination diet. But there are many things to cut out, and I'm not sure, where is this screenshot from? Is this from a masterclass, or is this from YouTube? I remember I used to do the show like this. If you're looking and you're watching the show, look at that beard and look at the board. The beard and the board, that's how we used to do all the daily swoles. But this was like 2016, 2017. This was fucking early on. So I forget where this image was from. But you're posting in the Facebook group. Make sure you also post up in the Telegram chat. And considering these are all Swole fan posts, just go into the kitchen. We have everything in the kitchen. Everything in the kitchen for the elimination diet. We have hundreds, probably, I think we have thousands of recipes at this point. And also we have the elimination diet, nutrition jumpstart, meal prepping. We have based on how you navigate what meal plans or what structure you should go for. Okay, let's see. Base Bunny Love, dairy was huge. Cutting milk and cream is one of the best things I ever did. Really? Nice. Nice. It's so funny because I didn't eat dairy, or I didn't consume dairy for a long time. Now I'm having dairy all the time, but it's raw dairy. So I have raw kefir, I have raw cream. So that's been fantastic. And I always thought had issues with dairy. I was like, oh, I just have issues with shit pasteurized dairy. Most of the stuff in the supermarkets are just criminal. It's criminal to say that raw dairy is potentially dangerous for people. It's so amazing. It's so much different. It tastes so much different. It tastes so much better. It digests easier. It's fucking crazy. Most of the shit in this world is a scam. 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 All right. Let's see. Christy, happy last Friday of 2022, fam. Today was my last workout of the year. It was glutes and hams. Thought I'd share a couple pics with you of the gains I made this year with my ass. All right. Lower body has always been troublesome for me for a couple reasons, but this past year, I decided, fuck it. I was going to start really crushing lower body days to see if I could finally make any gains down there. I pushed way out of my comfort zone, did a lot of hip and ankle mobility work, really figured out my stances and foot placements because I'm crooked and both my feet turn out at weird angles and not the same angles either, LOL. But I went hard. I tried to find a pic from a year or so ago that would show the same angle to have a side-by-side, but couldn't find any that would work. But I noticed a lot of development in the glutes and the hamstrings, quads too, but I've always been quad dominant, so I'm focused on the backside. 2023 will bring even more gains. How do I know? Because I will make sure it does. I create the body I want. I create the health I need. I apologize for the crappy posing. No idea how to really pose or flex to show the gains, so this is what you get. Oh, and I PR'd on hip thrust today. Every single 2-inch plate I had was on the bar. Guess it's time to order a pair of 45s. Another pair of 45s. Ending the year with a PR? Hell yeah, I'll take it. Keep doing the damn thing. Love y'all. Let's get a little America for our very own Christy. Oh, squeeze it. Booty. Very nice.
He's on fire!
Good for you, Christy. Thanks for the flex. And we all like some booty gains. Looks like you're squeezing a little hard. Be careful. Be careful. You don't want to have any liver shits. Get it? Get it?
Matt Damon.
That's an inside fam joke. Liver shits. No, looks good, Christy. Looking good. Keep on crushing that pooper. We like to see it. And our last Swole fan post of the year from James. Hell yeah, finally 6 years of discipline and consistency. I have finally arrived. Wonderland. Fuck you, scales. Time to put it back on only in muscle and weight. #7 pillars. So after 6 years, Joe has gone down from 433 fucking pounds, finally broke 200 to 199.5. Good for you. Now, of course, we always talk about, and Joe knows the scale's bullshit, but that's still a nice thing to see. Of course, that, tomorrow that might say over 200. You fluctuate water, but it's definitely a landmark achievement. And of course, you all know. Look at this. Look at that. You know what's cool about this? Can someone take a look at this scale, this chart? You know what's the best part about this chart? The best part about this chart is right here. I'm going to zoom in on it. You see that spike? So if you're just listening, you're missing out on this. About like a year and a half ago, Joe, you see that spike go back up. So it went down to 250 and then went back up to 300. So that little spike right there, you would say, this is when people quit. The famous saying, this is when people quit. But he didn't quit. And now he's back down below 200. So I'm curious as to what happened there. You might have told us in a story in the past. So I'm interested, and I think the whole Swole fan would be interested in what happened there to go back up. But that's really not the concern. That's not really the story. The story is you didn't stop. So what if Joe stopped? You saw it creeping back up and then it went back down. He could have quit and said, fuck it, and then gone right back up to 400. But didn't. And if you're also looking at the chart, you notice how it's not a straight line. So people think when they're trying to make progress, gaining muscle or gaining weight or losing weight, decreasing, people often think it's a linear movement. Hey, I want to lose weight. I got a gym membership. I'm going to start eating healthy. They think it's just going to be a slide down. Oh, it's going to be a straight line. You're going to go back up. You're going to fluctuate. You're going to go back down, see a lot of progress. Look at the beginning. Joe was kind of around 400, went up a little bit, and then boom. What if Joe quit? What if Joe quit right here? Let's go see that little spike when it first went up, right? So it kind of floated around 400, then it went up to looks like maybe like 420 or 415. What if Joe quit there at the top? Oh, this is not going to work for me. And then all of a sudden, boom, it went down, and then it started going up a little bit again, right? Went back from like maybe 320 to 340. What if Joe quit there? Oh, I'm going back up to 340. I'm gaining weight. This isn't for me. Kept on going. What if Joe quit when it went back up to 350? Or 300, from 250 to 300. It goes back up. It's not going to be straight down. It's going to fluctuate. And this is with any kind of progress. This is with a business. This is with a relationship. This is with fitness. This is with anything. It's going to fluctuate. It's going to go back up. You're going to have dips. You're going to have periods. And we talk about this all the time. You're going to have periods where you feel like shit and you're not making progress. Could be psychological, could be physical. You're going to have periods where your strength is kind of floundering. You're not making consistent progress. Or you feel like you're getting a little weaker for a couple of weeks. Or whatever it is. It's not going to be, the most important thing is every single day here still exists. Joe kept after it, and then eventually the results will come. But that all comes from consistency. Pillar number 7, it comes from consistency. If you stop, then that's when you lose, is when you quit. And every time you have a bad day, every time you don't see the results that you wish you had, well, that's how it's supposed to go. You're not supposed to just get results. You're not always going to have results. So every time you have a day where you have a shitty workout, think about this. Every time you have a shitty workout, every time you see something like the scale or whatever it is that isn't going the direction that you wish it would, just think to yourself, or write it on a card if you don't have one, if you didn't win one, or if you didn't get the signature series. This is when people quit. Every time you have a shitty workout, well, this is when people quit. A lot of people have a shitty workout and they never work out again. Well, this is a bad workout. It's not for me. This sucks. Oh my God, I gained 3 pounds. Oh my God, I can't do this. And they quit. The reason why Joe's under 200 now is because he didn't quit when he went back up to 300. Joe dropped in the chat, my ex-wife dropped off our plan and was actively sabotaging my loss. Lost 400 plus overnight. Lost 400 plus overnight. What do you mean? I don't know what that means. But in other words, yeah, had a slip up there with the community, right? So ex-wife dropped off our plan, was actively sabotaging my loss. So now that's the ex-wife, and that's of course pillar number one, community. But bottom line, Joe didn't quit. Joe didn't quit. Maybe it seems there that he kind of quit or let the foot off the gas and fine, had a rough patch. But if you zoom all the way out, the real results is 6 years ago is 400 plus, and now it's under 200. So really the spikes and the dips in between, it's like the stock market. It's like anything else, the volatility. There is volatility. It's not a straight line. So anyway, round of applause.
I give it
good shit.
a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
All right. If you're ready to join Joe, myself, Lacey, Eric, Keith, everyone in the Swole fam, join us, swolenormousx.com. It's Fuck Your Resolution season. We have awesome specials on memberships. Join us, Beaches. Join the Swole fam today. By the way, let me see here. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Very exciting. Matt says, so many spikes and dips with weight loss. It can drive you crazy. Most people don't have the mental strength to keep focused on the end goal. But that's the thing. If you're focusing on the 7 pillars, you don't need the end goal. You have an end goal. That's fine. You have a direction you're heading in, but this is why every single day can be a success. Because if you're missing any of these 7 pillars in a given day, you're not going to be as efficient getting to that end goal. It's going to prolong or delay that end goal from being achieved. You're going to make it more challenging to achieve that end goal. So you don't have to worry about, going to the gym every day. If Joe was doing this, if Joe was going to the gym every day thinking, I need to lose 220 pounds, that is not inspiring. That's going to take 6 years. That's not something that's going to drive you in a given day. But if you're focusing on the 7 pillars, all right, I just need to eat properly today. I need to train today. I need to focus on my recovery, do some foam rolling, do some swolga, some mobility today. Meditate for 5 minutes today. Block out the bullshit. Don't hang around with shitty people. Don't put myself in a bad environment today. Make sure my house is clean, X, Y, and Z today. At the end of the day, check consistency, you journal, whatever, meditate, fucking nailed it today. Tomorrow, I need to do the 7 pillars today. And that's it. If you're focusing on the 7 pillars every day, you're going to get to that end goal in the time frame that is meant for you. It's going to happen. All right, here we go. Questions. Let's take a first call. Let's take a call from AJ. AJ, you're on the Sleazecast. Remember, you can call in, askpapasolio.com, and please do. Here we go.
Hey, Papa Swolio. Wanted to ask you a quick question.
Do it.
How do we, if we can, are able to have a video one-on-one talk? Do you charge by the couple minutes like they do on Cameo, or how do we get in touch with you that way? Thanks, man.
I thought you were going to say something else. You charge per minute? Is that what they do on Cameo? I thought you were going to be like, $3.99 for each additional minute. You know what I'm saying?
Because
it's called Swole After Dark. Well, I'm not, we might have on maybe papasolio.com, we might have some information on how you can do that. Bottom line right now, you can go to swolenormousx.com. You can, like you did, you can call in. You can join the fam, swolenormousx.com, and get access to our complete totality of knowledge that we keep adding to, and all our programs and master classes and private streams. So swolenormousx.com. My recommendation is to join the fam, and you'll get direct access to myself and the rest of the Swole fam. We do private Q&As, and we're doing roundtables twice a month. So if there are any other adjustments for one-on-one coaching and things like that, you will hear about it, and it'll be available probably on our site, papasolio.com. We are adding this year, probably in the next day or two, for people that are not members. We're going to be offering up some programs and packs and things that people can get access to one-off. And of course, we still have our unlimited access memberships, which is the best deal. So make sure you go to swolenormousx.com and join the fam today. That's the best place to start. There's a lot more information that will answer your questions. than you think, but you could also plug into the podcast for now. But I appreciate the interest, and you will hear about any of those adjustments or features if when they are added to the sites. Here we go. Let's see here. All right. All right, let's take a question. We'll take some more live questions. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Tyler, we're going to bring up this fucking man showed again. Hate to bring this cunt up, LOL. What do you think about Liver King being sued for millions? So if you didn't hear about this, I guess there's like a bunch of people. I don't think it's considered a class action, but they're suing Liver King for, I don't know what the case is, for 25 million. Just so you know, you can sue someone for anything. But whether or not it's going to make it to court, whether it's going to be settled, whether it's going to be thrown out, just because someone's sued for something doesn't mean there's actually anything to stand upon it. To be honest, I think anyone suing for, oh, he's taking steroids, he told me to take my supplement. I think it depends on how blatantly it was said, but supplements are always, there's going to be so many, disclaimers. I don't see how that's going to be anything actionable. Of course, I don't know the details or what was said. I don't really watch his content much. I know of it. Of course, I've been force-fed it on TikTok when he first started blowing up. But it never came across to me that he was ever saying like, you know what is fucking stupid? What really pisses me off about the whole thing is that I see a lot of people saying, "Oh my God, everyone talking about this. This guy had me eating fucking raw liver." I see a lot of people getting pissed off that once it came out, but they're missing the point. That's the frustrating thing. I see so many videos of people pissed off, like, man, this guy had me fucking eating raw liver and raw heart. Those things are fucking great. Raw liver is amazing. And now, unfortunately, that's getting a bad rap, as if that's actually a bad thing. So that's the frustrating part, is that a lot of people are probably going to stop doing it because, I don't know, they had some irrational, they're stupid. If you thought you were just going to eat raw liver and look like him, you're an idiot to begin with. It's exceptionally healthy. Exceptionally healthy. But I don't know if he ever said, hey, if you eat liver, you'll look like me. I don't think you can make that actionable. I don't know. But the problem is people thinking that everything else that he said was bullshit too, which is just not true, I'm not defending the guy and what he did. I think it was atrocious, but eating organ meats and stuff is exceptionally healthy, especially if you're getting it from a good source. And I eat raw heart and raw liver myself. So, and there's a lot of things, right? I don't know what his ancestral tenets. There's a lot of things. Sunlight and cold and eating organ meats and lifting. And I think all those things are fantastic. So, as much as I'm not a fan, per se, of the marketing strategy and the marketing style, super cringe and overdone. And he didn't know when to stop. And that was a huge part. And I've been saying it for a while, like, oh, you went too far. You crossed the line, just went too far. And it happened pretty early on. And this is why there's so much negativity and so much, did it wrong. Marketing team was too greedy. And the problem is probably because he had marketers that are just trying to squeeze every last follower and every last piece of attention out, and didn't really understand when to pull back and when it was overdone or when you got over memed. So not surprised how it turned out. I don't think there's any, I think it's either going to settle or it's going to be thrown out. You can't hold someone responsible for making a stupid decision. It would have to be very, very blatant. And I don't think it was ever like directly said like that. Or when you go to purchase a supplement, it doesn't associate with him. Like, I don't think his pictures are on ancestral supplements. Like, it doesn't say X, Y, and Z and be like, eat this and you'll be like there's probably disclaimers like crazy, and I don't think there is an onus of responsibility on the individual. You know, there isn't when you're purchasing something. It's like you have to have a minimum IQ to like. It's crazy. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Nick said he actually made the claim several times, especially when people pressed him about being a fake natty. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so it depends on what is actually. In other words, like that case. I'm not saying he didn't probably allude to it or state it blatantly, but just saying it doesn't necessarily mean it's associated with the supplements, right? So if he's saying eat raw liver, that's one thing. Like you can sue him. Oh, he told me to eat raw liver. Okay. But if he's saying take ancestral supplements or it depends on how the law works, where they're suing from, what state, what precedent or whatever they're trying to either set or base it upon, how directly, because when it comes to law, every single nuance, like did he specifically mention his individual product or just eating liver in general? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to think like a lawyer, of which I'm not one. So there's probably a lot of there's always some sort of use the wrong article, use the wrong word, and the case is thrown out. So it has to be so technical and specific. It doesn't seem like anything that'll actually go to court. If anything, it'll be settled for a fraction of it, and then it'll be taxed, and then people it's silly, probably. I don't know anything about the case, so I'm sure someone on YouTube is breaking it down. Aaron, Papa Soy, me and the wife are doing the 90-day dash. Good shit, and her wrist hurts when she puts pressure on it, especially with the push-up. What things can she do to modify or strengthen her wrist? The wrist is a very unique area of the body. There's so many small muscles, tendons, and ligaments. What I would recommend is doing specific wrist strengthening exercise, doing things like dead hangs. Also, you can get a bucket of rice, fill it up like 2/3 of the way with rice, and have her opening, closing her fist, twisting, and doing like, a few minutes of that a day just to strengthen the ligaments and the tendons in the hands and the wrists. I would also recommend getting her into Indian club or light club work, which is fantastic. Like with the circles and the twirling, it's going to be excellent for grip strength and all the muscles in your hands and wrists. Also, it could be the form. There's a couple things for push-ups. You could do handles, holding dumbbells or getting push-up handles. That can also keep the wrist in more neutral position. And or when you're doing yoga or practicing, making sure she's pushing into her fingertips, her thumb and her index finger, rather than digging her, the butt of her hand and the heel of her hand, quote unquote, into the mat. So a couple options right there. It takes time though. Anytime you're working on tendons and ligaments, takes a long time for those to adapt. So it's not going to be quick. Also, things like a TheraBar is fantastic for rehab and prehab. But I would say light Indian clubs, and we announced it during the Swole Year release party. 3 Swole Flow programs, double club, heavy club, and mace bell. So mace. So. Those will be available this week for unlimited members. Frank, Papa Soy, I'm having soreness in my shoulders at the joint and some clicking. Would it be okay to train light on the chest and other body parts while I avoid shoulder workouts? Not necessarily. Why are you having soreness? Like, what does that mean? Are you sore from training? What else are you doing with your shoulders? Did you do anything? Did you have any issues? Clicking doesn't necessarily mean a problem. I would practice dead hangs. I would start doing I would go into, have you done the shoulder awareness program? When we talk about club work, when we talk about activation, these are strategies to strengthen the weakest links of our body. And if you have any weak links, your body is going to suffer in terms of strength, in terms of recovery. These are going to be potential problems in terms of your output moving forward and your ability to avoid and mitigate injury risk. So it's very important to strengthen all these weak points. Doing chest and avoiding your shoulder because it's sore, you're still training your shoulders. And if you have some kind of impingement or imbalance, you're not addressing it. You're just trying to avoid it. And of course, how you train your chest might not actually be benefiting. It could be more detrimental. You could be making the problem worse depending on what your form is and your elbow, your shoulder position, and so forth. Have you done the shoulder awareness program? TCAP, as long as he's not promoting polar bear liver. Isn't that exceptionally high in vitamin A? Like you can easily get vitamin A, like just because, I mean, how rare it would be to have a polar bear liver or to have so much polar bear liver. But I think it's what, like the highest, most densely concentrated or something. Let's see. Danny Pompasoli, I have nerve damage and partially paralyzed muscles in my right shoulder and bicep and have trouble with pull-ups. Are inverted rows a good replacement or should I try something else? I would say yes. And of course, I am not a medical doctor, so that's unfortunate. But inverted rows, you want them as much as possible. Can you do dead hangs? Dead hangs are fantastic as long as you don't have any contraindications of why you shouldn't do them. But bottom line is you want to mimic that type of body weight movement. You know, like Nordic curls or a pull up for the lower body. Inverted rows are essentially a pull up, but it's just with the shoulder joint at a different angle. You're not in as much shoulder flexion, right? You're not all the way up. You're more out to the front. So I would say that's a good substitute as you navigate that. That's personally what I would do. Frank, I have not done it, but I will look at it. Frank.
Crucifixion is good. Out of the door, line on the left, one cross each.
Francois, man, all this work, we have all these things inside Swolenormous X, and you fucking people.
I don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people?
God damn it. I mean, you people that don't do the shoulder awareness program that we have in Swolenormous X, for shame. Come on now. Well, check that out. If you have impingements, if you have imbalances in your shoulder joint or your shoulder girdle, if you have protraction, if you have elevation, if you have internal rotation at the shoulder joint, you know, these types of programs like shoulder awareness or glute awareness are designed to activate the proper muscles to create balance. If you have an imbalance, you're going to have additional friction that's going to cause inflammation, which is going to cause more friction, which is going to cause more inflammation, which is going to cause more friction. Also, Frank, are you doing any club work? Indian club, steel club? I would recommend that for shoulder too. Light, of course. Brittany Pompasoli, how often do you do yin yoga? Once in a while. I'm doing a lot more mobility work lately, but yin yoga, doing some deep stretching is always a great thing. But lately I've been doing a lot more in terms of mobility, weighted. I've been doing a lot more weighted mobility training, which is what mobility is. But I kind of drop into some of those yin poses throughout the day. So a lot of times for like my mobility I'm giving specific time to, but I'm also doing some sort of mobility work throughout the day. I do a lot of micro mobility because I'm grateful that I have the schedule ability to do that. Some of you have to be in a cubicle or you have to be in one spot and you're not able to do mobility work or things like that as frequently as maybe I am or someone else is. Okay, let's see. Let's do one more question. We'll get into some balls deep. We'll wrap it up for 2022. We got one from Jacob. You're on the Sleevescast. AskPapasolio.com.
Thanks to you, I've been working out for 90 days now. Started at 212 pounds. I am now at 190. And I'm worried about my workout. I have a home gym. I run 4 miles. And then I do a full body workout with compound movements. And on my rest days, I run 4 to 8 miles. And I'm getting to a point where I'm not getting any muscle. So I wonder if I should cut down on my cardio and increase my weight training or break up my full body workout throughout the week. Thank you, sir.
All right, Jacob, thanks for the call. You're running 4 miles before you lift every day. And then I kind of blacked out after you said that first part. And then what, on days you don't lift, you run like 8 fucking miles? Why are you running so much, dude? Why are you running so much? Not that there's anything wrong with being able to run, but again, I'm going to talk about it again. Most people don't have good form running. you run in Nikes or Reeboks or Asics or some shit. You're running heel to toe, so the form sucks. It's not helping you as it is. Running, barefoot running, building up those muscles, midfoot run, like sprinting is fine, but most people long distance running is not even functional because you don't have good joint mobility and you're not doing it with proper form. So you're doing fucking running all the time and you wonder why you're not building muscle. Cut down the fucking running. 4 miles before you lift, don't run before you lift. Nonsense. If anything, go for a walk or do something light after, or maybe on days when you're not lifting. Right now, what I would recommend is you do some jump rope or get your heart rate up or something before a lifting session. My recommendation, if you're struggling putting on muscle, is get your nutrition in order. Focus more on lifting weights. I forget if you said total body or whatever, but you might want to start segmenting upper body, lower body, or push-pull legs or there's a lot of different splits you can do, but I would immediately cut out running on days where I'm lifting, especially right before. Unless you're separating it, cut down the running. I would say don't run on days where you're not lifting, and don't run 10 fucking miles. I would run I would look a gradual transition so you can see the difference. I would personally immediately cut out the running on lifting days and at least do like 4 miles. Don't do the low end on the non-lifting days. Like start there, and then you might navigate like, ooh, this starting to feel a lot better. You're running 4 miles before you fucking lift. How do you have energy to lift? Fams, don't do cardio or this kind of exhausting shit. If anything, you go for a nice brisk walk and then lift, but do it after. Do it after. Do it after. All right, fam. Damn. Don't do it, fam. Too much. Too much.
That's deep.
All right, now it's time to go for some balls deep. Hashtag Swole Slut, triple S, hashtag Swole Slut Saturday for a chance to win today's Swole card. Let's get a Tainty Man and let's get a church before we look, our ears perk up. Let's get a church before we get into some balls deep content because it's going to be nasty and hopefully we don't wake her up because she wakes up when it's really, really stupid. If it's really stupid, she'll wake up. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Oof. We're closing out 2022. We're closing this shit out, fam. Closing it out. Closing it out. Let's raffle it off. I think it looks like I'll do it first. We're fucked either way we go. We're fucked either one we choose. Oh, we have this one. This is a classic. It's a classic twunt. And it's a short one, so we'll do this. Fat people can't love their way into body liberation. Fat people can't love their way into body liberation. Fat people can't love their way into body liberation. It doesn't make sense. So we're not off to a good start. The title doesn't even make sense. Here we go. Drum roll.
What's in the box?
Yeah, this doesn't make sense even as a title.
Fat people can't just self-love their way into body liberation like thin people can. I can love my body as much as I want. That doesn't stop the fact that people label it a disease. They're doing everything they can to eradicate us.
All right, you can do my damn. No one's eradicating. No one's doing anything to eradicate fat people. Fat people are eradicating themselves. Take that any way you like it. Just don't eat it. Okay, fam, pick a number, 1 or 2. 1 or 2. 1 or 2.
You make me happy.
That's a huge bitch.
Pick a number, 1 or 2. 1 or 2. There's no fat concentration camps. That would actually get people healthier. Stop eating forced fasting. Too soon? All right, let's do James Stone. James Stone, number 2. Number 2. Someone said let's do the racist one. This one is just titled James. You're kicking us off strong. This one's just called whiteness. It's just called whiteness. Let's fucking go. Just straight up whiteness.
What the hell kind of country is this where I can only hate a man if he's white?
Just straight up whiteness. Here we go. Drum roll.
So obviously, it's not the actual skin tone when we're talking about whiteness.
What? She's responding to a post saying, excluding people because of skin color / race is racism. Yeah, excluding people because of race. Did she just say whiteness?
Whiteness. It's the entitlement, privileges, microaggressions that white people indulge in because we live in a white supremacist society where whiteness is seen as the standard and catered.
Why is she saying it's sometimes retarded and sometimes regular? What the fuck?
Loud noises!
In everything that exists. In Hollywood, in government, in schools. And people will be like, you can't just base it off of that one racist person. When you're a person of color, it's never that one racist white person you encountered. The white superiority complex isn't everything you touch. It's never just one thing. And the way you carry yourself, your mannerisms, the way you speak, cumulative. And most white people...
Did she say cumulative? It's a cumulative. It's a cumulative rightness. Hans Briggs.
People are not actively fighting racism. So if BIPOC folks in their leisure time, because it's exhausting to be around that 24/7, want to be in the comforts of people that they trust, feel safe with, enjoy free time away from societal pressures of white dominance, which is constantly being pushed. It's not exclusionary. Some BIPOC folks enjoy a place of safe haven where whiteness is not centered. It's about nurturing and nourishing the wellness of BIPOC folks. For once, in their personal time and personal space, out of the million other times where they cannot. If you can't understand the need for that or respect that, you're exactly the reason.
Shut up, bitch!
Dude. Oof. Wow. It's over. It's over. That was
What
a
you
lot.
just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Shake that ass, bitch. Shake, shake, and twerk, 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 twerk. No. Whew, my God. How tiring does it have to be to like live like that? It's exhausting. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being that person? And can someone tell me why those words were said that way? She said it randomly like that and then said it normally. Someone needs the salchicha.
Because emotional damage.
You do know with the dick draft, when you actually get penetrated finally, when someone can get through the annoying personality and you can actually find penetration, the purple hair just evaporates. It's like Thanos snapping his fingers. All of a sudden, the purple hairs, whoosh, it just goes away and it becomes normal colored hair. It's a fascinating, it's a phenomenon, but you know, it is what it is. All right, last one, choking on her bullshit. All right, last one. And then fam, can we just make a promise to everyone here? No more white shenanigans in 2023, right? No more white shenanigans. That was a video, if you don't know. That was a video, like last week? White shenanigans. Those white shenanigans. Okay. This one is feels unsafe, misgendered. So if you're called something that you don't like, I'm unsafe. Words are not violence. So it's just your weak personality and your low self-esteem, and only you can solve that. So we're just going to make fun of it in the meantime. Let's see here. Responding to a TikTok post. This is probably going to be horrible. It says, can you do a video explaining feeling, quote, not safe when someone misgenders you? I mean, no offense. I'm genuinely curious. Do you feel in harm's way? And the answer is yes and no. In reality, there is no harm. There's no harm. There's no threat, but it's a perceived threat. And if you can gaslight and manipulate people into thinking that words are violence, you can wield power. And it's bullshit. Words do not cause someone. It might hurt your feelings, but it's definitely not a threat. And it's definitely, this feeling of not safe is such a very gray area, subjective thing. And of course, if you're institutionalized, meaning going through K through 12 and college and you're brainwashed in our society, you're going to feel not safe. You're going to feel like words, you're being taught that words are violence, and someone saying something that hurts your feelings. Oh my God, it's so dangerous. It's so dangerous. So dangerous. So scary. So scary. Words have meaning and language is important, but words are not violence. All right, here we go. Feel safe when someone says something they don't like.
What's in the box?
No one knows.
So this is what I mean when I say that I feel unsafe if someone is misgendering me or is actively misgendering other people. Safety is relative, right? And violence isn't only physical in nature.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I don't have a lot of personal experience with violence. Thankfully so. You don't want to have experience with violence. I mean, some of you that served in the military, you might have it, but violence is physical. You can have verbal abuse, but it's not violence. So these people do not understand what violence is. And this is why the sinister doublespeak is actually bringing violence into reality. So people that want violence actually don't know. Most people that want, anyone that really wants violence for the most part doesn't know what violence is like. I'm aware of the dangers of violence, so I want to avoid violence, as most people should. Most logical people want to avoid violence. Violence is physical. Words are not violence. They might offend you, but that's subjective. You could be offended by a butterfly. That'd be a weird thing, but you can pretend to be. It's within. That's your personal problem. Okay, here we go.
Isn't only physical
It is.
in nature.
It is.
All
right, fuck this. Fuck this shit. I'm going to look. We're Googling it. Not like the dictionaries are reliable today. Behavior or treatment. Behavior. Well, that's active behavior. Or treatment in which physical force is exerted for the purpose of causing damage or injury. Intense force or great power, as in a natural phenomena. Extreme or powerful emotion or expression. Well, that's number 3. But treatment in which physical force is exerted for the purpose of causing damage or injury. So it is physical. Okay.
Emotional and psychological violence both exist. And when I have made it clear what my pronouns are and that I'm like a genderqueer trans person, and someone...
Look, you can live your life however you want. What is a genderqueer trans person? Talk about a virtue signaling shield. Like, how do you even communicate with that? What does that mean? And you can't define these things accurately. You can't define these things, which is the point, by the way. There's no way to really define this. It's always transient. It's always kind of like smoke and mirrors. And the reason is because that's how you acquire power. That's how you acquire control. That's how you command other people with this idea that is ever morphing like a blob. It just doesn't have any substance. So you can change it to your whim. You can manipulate language and make it mean whatever you want it to mean, whenever you want it to. It can just change whenever. And if you can change definitions, you can try to control reality. Okay. It's silly.
Genderqueer trans person, and someone decides to ignore that.
It's their choice.
And then deliberately will like misgender me. That is a form of violence.
It's not.
Because they are enacting a something that is hurtful toward me
that's not violence. That's your subjective opinion, and that's your low self-esteem or sensitivity issues. That's a personal issue. That's your issue.
On purpose. And
it's your issue.
Violence like that makes me feel unsafe because I don't know what else that person is necessarily capable of and what kind of harm, psychological or otherwise, it could then later inflict on me.
That's a personal issue. Yeah. Word salad. Again, this is a personal problem. This is on the individual. That's the individual's issue. What someone says, like on Twitter, oh my God, that's harmful, then don't look at it. It's not violent. If you have a weak personality, if you are a weak person, then like you're going to let everything affect you. That's your individual issue. That's not the person talking. People are welcome to voice their opinions. That's what free speech is about. I believe in complete free speech. There might be speech that might be interpreted as hateful. And then as a society, we generally don't use certain terms. That's fine. But any kind of laws and restrictions to speech is suppression of free speech. And it's a huge problem because if you're not allowed to say things or express things in a certain way, who decides what you can and can't say? You should not have any sway legally over what sounds and what order of those sounds come out of my face hole. That's silly. These are just sounds. These are sounds we ascribe some meanings. It's fine if as a society, we generally don't use certain terms. Like we don't use those terms. I really have no use for saying certain things that are widely regarded as, a negative. Like, why would I say things on purpose, to someone's face to actively try to create as much negativity? I mean, that's just a cultural thing, and we generally don't use certain words. That's fine. But laws against it are not appropriate. Because also, if you use certain words, let's say you have a business and you use certain words and people don't like it, then don't shop there. Don't go to that person. Don't spend time with them. Don't listen to their podcast. Don't watch their videos. Don't hang out with them at cocktail parties, or don't go to a barbecue with them if you don't like the person. Let the market decide and let society decide who they want to spend time with. And the thing is, if you allow free speech and you allow people to say what they will, then people are going to either like and agree or dislike and avoid certain things. It'll work itself out. It'll work itself out. And plus, if you allow free speech, you can get a full context of ideas of what one person thinks. If you suppress and you can't say certain things, or you can only say certain things in certain places, then you actually don't get all the information, and that could be to your detriment, not knowing the true breadth of what someone believes or getting the full context, or maybe if there is something dangerous going on, that you won't hear about it because it has to be done in the darkness or in the underwebs, or you have to do it. You can't do it out in the open because you're afraid of getting legally in trouble. I just think people should be able to say what they want. And if you don't like it, you could turn it off. Plus, if you don't like some of these things online, like let's say it's Twitter or the internet, you don't like certain words, then I think what these apps should do is allow free speech, but also allow certain maybe pre-made filters. Like, hey, I don't want to hear any racial talk. You can put these words in or turn on, not a racist filter, but I don't want to see words. You can already do that. Hey, filter out these words in comments. I don't want any comments on my videos that are talking about, that say fuck or shit or whatever. And then the apps will automatically block people commenting those words. Or I don't want to see posts that have to do with any of these things. And you can customize. I think that's okay. I think you should be able to, you already can, but I think maybe people need help with that. You can have a filter. Maybe this is what they should do for Twitter or for social media apps. You can choose whether or not you want your app to be, why don't we do it like this? Why don't you do something similar to like a PG-13? I want Instagram to be rated R. Okay, I want a rated R Instagram. I don't care what people say. If you're under a certain age or this, you can have a G-rated Instagram. You only see fucking, Disney grooming videos or something. Get it? You know what I mean? It's like, fine, just let people customize their shit. Because the problem is when, and again, I'm not saying people should say bad things. But when you have a group of people that are able to decide what people can and can't say, that's a very gray area. That's a very slippery slope. And this is why shit's going downhill, because you have certain people that are in control of speech and they're trying to change language. They're changing definitions. It's much more dangerous than people give it credit for, because the left has control of all the mainstream media. They're sliding this under the rug and pretending like it's not a huge deal. It's a massive deal. It's a big fucking deal. I don't think anything should be censored. I think on the principle, nothing should be censored, because who decides what can be censored? And I think on an individual level, we can have these frameworks in place. You need better parenting. Don't allow your kids to have fucking cell phones. Don't allow your kids to watch the fucking TV and flip through whatever the hell they want. I mean, parent your goddamn kids. Parent your goddamn kids. That's a cultural thing, right? That's a cultural thing. It's also a financial thing. This is why the monetary system is broken. When you have massive inflation and massive money printing, then you have a weakening of the dollar. Parents need to work longer hours. They might not be able to homeschool or be home as much. Like, there's a whole slew of problems. It all comes down to the degradation of money and nothing backing our human value and human energy. So rather than going down that rabbit hole, it pretty much all stems from that. But you just need to get more involved. Get more involved, and I think take more personal responsibility for what you expose your eye holes to. Like, just because you go on your phone doesn't mean I should just see anything I should only see things that I want. Well, you should take some responsibility to navigate what you do want. Maybe when you load up Instagram or Twitter, it says, hey, what type of content would you like to see here? Level 1, level 2, or level 3. Like level 3, anything can be posted, blah, 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 whatever. Level 1 blocks out, most commonly, term things of like, negative speech, nudity, blah, blah. You can block those things out, or you can allow everything. Like, why are you telling me what I can and can't see? Why are you telling me what I can and can't hear? But there's misinformation and disinformation. There's always been people that said, we're humans. We're all stupid. People have been saying stupid shit for fucking years. Countries in fucking Europe, like Germany, are closing nuclear power plants and going back to fucking coal and solar and wind, intermittent poor sources and poor sources of fucking energy. Like, humans are stupid. Like, hey, I'd rather freeze to death than actually have, cheap energy. People are stupid. Even in 2022, people are stupid. So it's like, it's... Don't tell me what I can and can't do. Don't tell me what I can see. Don't tell me what I can't see. People are always going to say dumb stuff. Bottom line, people are always going to say dumb stuff. People are always going to do dumb stuff. But if we have it out in the open, we can communicate more and navigate towards better stuff. And this is another thing, in closing, to close out the year, this is another problem with teaching people what to think rather than how to think. If you had more critical learning skills and not just follow the leader that's been brainwashed into kids through college, you would be able to listen to some of these fucking ideas and be like, that is stupid. I'm not going to believe that on its face. That's just a dumb thing for someone to say. That's just stupid. If you have a brain that functions, that can critically think, most of the stuff that you will see online, you're like, oh, that's nonsense. You'll know nonsense when you see it, or you'll know how to think about that or block it out and how to find sources that will give you some more reliable information. If you're taught just to believe everything that you see and raise your hand, oh, you're taught this is right, this is wrong, you're just literally going to believe everything that you see on TV, everything you see on the news, everything you see on Twitter. You're just going to believe everything in its face because you're not taught how to think critically about things. Yeah, electric cars that are fueled in coal plants. You see all these pictures, right? When the cold spell that came through the United States, everyone's like, my Tesla doesn't turn on. It's like, oh, you don't think. The terrible ecological damage that it does to create batteries and to fuel and to power electric cars and intermittent. It's just inconsistent. We need gasoline. We need oil, and we need to use it. We can, as technology develops, you can't store this energy. We don't have the battery technology. We don't have the raw materials on this planet for all the batteries that we need. Solar only works during the fucking day. It's like 20 or 30% effective. Sometimes it's like 10% wind. It's not always windy. That's even worse than solar. This is stupid shit. It destroys the environment. It kills birds. It's just an eyesore. It's fucking, the windmills are just, they're terrible. It's awful. Yeah, nuclear. I was listening to a podcast. A nuclear plant makes back its cost in like 6 weeks. So, I think eventually, I don't know how many people have to die or how bad things have to get for people to realize that we don't want to go back to the Stone Age. We'd like to continue progressing as a species. So that'd be nice. All right. Happy 2023, everyone. Let's fucking get some puppers. Look at those pupper paws and the Tainty Man and the church. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, Beaches. All right, let's give away today's Swole card. It's Swole Slut Saturday. Let's fucking go. Triple S. But my waisism. Swole Slut. Who's a fucking Swole Slut? Come on, I know someone here is a silly Swole Slut. One more time. Let's get it on. We got a winner! And it's so fitting. One of the most old school members, Eric Dean. Congratulations! It is so fitting. So fitting. Eric, congratulations on winning the Swole card, and much respect and a thank you for being a part of the Swole fam for like 5 fucking years, 6 years. You are the man, and it landed on no better of a person. So congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, Swole card 2430 in the subject. And your mailing address in the body of the email will send you this fucking Swole card. Eric Dean, one of the most veteran Swole sluts. Congratulations.
I am the danger.
No more shenanigans, no more tomfoolery, no more ballyhoo.
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe
no more white shenanigans.
Old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Now, Eric, congratulations, you won the Swole card, but no white shenanigans. Someone tell Eric no white shenanigans, or I'm not sending the card. He has a lot of shenanigans. I don't want to hear about any shenanigans, Eric.
Come on, man.
Are there any women here today?
My name's Forrest Gump.
Yeah, buddy. Lightweight, baby. Ain't nothing but a peanut. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight, baby.
What is the best move to silence a woman?
Hey,
You can be fat and be healthy. I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I'll ever be.
Emotional, damn it!
By the way, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down, so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
That's weird. right. Very nice. Golf clap.
We choose truth over facts.
That's weird. That's a weird thing to say. It's a weird thing with any application. It's just a weird thing to say. It's a weird thing. Just think you're on a stage, in front of people giving a speech with a microphone, talking about your hair. You're like, when would you? I wouldn't even have that conversation in private. I wouldn't even have that thought. That wouldn't have happened. So just think about that just close your eyes and just think about that statement. Think of how when without ever, why would that even occur? No one knows. No one knows. Base Bunny Love, can I get a diversity to close out the year? We already did it, but I mean, it's a great soundboard. Let's do it again.
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
All right. You happy? You happy? All right, fine.
Shut up, bitch!
All right. No, shut up, bitch. All right, fam. Thank you to all the Swole Sluts. Thank you, Base. Thank you, Loretta, T-Cap, Cerny, Tyler, Pedro, Eric. Oh my God, everyone here. We got Wax, Vinny, Dawn, Dan. God, everyone here. Mark, Joe, Isabel, everyone that's watching live. Everyone. Guy, how we doing over here in the Telegram? Nancy. Oh my goodness. What else we got? Drew, fam, everyone. You all rock. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the Swole fam, for listening to Daily Swole, for sharing the podcast, all that good shit. It's been a big 2022. It's going to be an even bigger 2023. And I am off to get some more work done and make sure we get some fucking epic releases and have everything ready to go for this week. So lots to do, but let's have a great closeout to the year and a great intro to the new year. Fuck your resolutions. Start today. Go have your last amazing workout of the year. And remember, it's just another day to fucking crush it. On to the next fucking year of Swole. Peace, McGee, Stooks, Magoose, your boy Papa Swolio. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stocks crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't laugh and they so mad, it's like
yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. Our topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons out closets and making new deposits. I'm